Cult of Collector, here to show off stuff and chat with you. Cult of Collector, movies and more is what we do. Cult of Collector, sit back and relax, here comes the show. Cult of Collector, 3, 2, 1, here we go.
All right. Welcome for tonight's episode of Cult Collectors. We unfortunately are down a person tonight. Lauren was not feeling well, so she cannot join us tonight. And I think Mike's busy. We didn't have any guests planned. So it's just me and John. You get me and John.
Yep.
And we're trying something new. We hopefully you're seeing us also on a Instagram live. I'm not sure how that chat differentiate's going to work. If we're going to be able to see both, or John might be over there on two different screens. I'm not sure how that's going to appear if you are in the Instagram chat. Hey, there, I see that little window. I like that. That's promising. And so yeah, we like to show off what we've got for the week. Talk about things we might have seen. Answer anything coming through the chat, and then if we have time, we'll talk about what might be coming next week. We're excited about.
Movie. Yep.
Oh, John,
Anything
how you
else
doing?
movie related or collecting
Yeah.
related, we like to. Eventually, we'll start getting some guests, maybe in different realms of collecting. Well,
Yeah.
we've done that in the past. Just we haven't done it so much with our return so much, but we will here in the future. We'll get going on some guests. Charlie used to be our kind of our guest guy, so
Yeah.
we'll
Charlie's all
eventually
over it.
we'll get in the mood. Yeah. So yeah,
I've got some feelers out there to a few people. Some of them, all of them are down. It's just a matter of locking in a good date. We like to keep it on Wednesday evenings.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got. I was actually going to show off. I have 2 left over from last week that I got that we just got. We got in so many conversations. The time we ran out of time last week.
Yeah.
I can show those off. I only got 3 things other than that in this week. It was pretty compared to last week. It was kind of a slow week. I had a crap ton of stuff last week.
Could you turn your gain down on your mic just a little? It's
Yeah.
just a little. It's just a little loud. It's a little distorting a little bit. Just a touch, not much. It's kind of weird. It's usually perfect.
How's
It's
that?
just,
Is that a little better now?
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
All right. Maybe that won't be
Yeah.
screaming in people's faces. Who knows? I was in here moving stuff around. It could have possibly been me anyway. So, but yeah, what you been up to before we start showing stuff off?
Could be on mine. Could be StreamYard. You're fine. Don't worry about it. I'd rather be loud than soft.
Yeah, right.
Well, I've actually got a bunch of stuff, but some of the stuff I'll just run through. But the one thing I got, I didn't really know it was coming out till a couple days ago over the weekend, and I was like, I always start thinking, well, I need to get like a couple things for the week. So I start looking at what's new. Then I seen this, and I was like, holy crap! It's a little expensive, but it's one of those things I couldn't pass up.
Uh-oh, I'm getting excited.
This is the.
Sounds like something big.
This is the. Hopefully, you can hear me.
Oh yeah.
The Luke Besson collection.
I gave serious thought to that because I did. The whole thing looks beautiful, and all the good movies you get in with it, and all the new covers. They're all like slip covers, right?
Yeah. Let me expand my screen up here. I'm going to actually do like a, if you don't care, do a little bit of an unboxing because it's still unwrapped because I'm kind of excited. There you go.
Oh, I love that artwork.
Yeah. Really.
And are they all on 4K in this box?
The majority is. I think there's a couple things that might just be on Blu-ray. I'll read them off here to you. It's Le Denier Combat. I meant to look at what Denier means. I'm not sure. Subway, The Big Blue, La Femme Nikita, Atlantis, Leon the Professional, The Fifth Element, The Messenger, The Story of Joan of Arc, and Angel A. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. As much as a fan of I've always been of his, I have to admit I've only seen La Femme Nikita Leon, and The Fifth Element as far as what goes in this box.
Yeah, I remember when the
And
box was announced, there was a couple in there. I was like, wait, I don't I've never even
the newer stuff, I think Angel A and the Joan of Arc story, that's just stuff that I kind of knew about, but I didn't see and probably didn't know he directed it. But some of this older stuff I wasn't really that aware of. So it's kind of bad being a fan of somebody and being a fan of directors too, and not really looking into him earlier on. It's just one of those directors you really like, but you kind of don't. I don't know. It's being a French director, I figured whatever came before was hard to get, and it probably was at one time harder to get some of this stuff. But get that cellophane off here. It's got a big J card that wrapped
Oh yeah.
up. There was that. Got to pull back a little bit. Okay. I hate that stuff they put on there. It holds the J cards on.
Oh yeah.
At least it don't rip the paint off of it.
No, no, man. But the older if you get old ones that still have that on there, that gets to be a pain. Oh, that's cool.
Pull out some of these. We won't go through every single thing. It's really light though. I was kind of wondering what the inside was going to be like. But this is later near combat. Later near combat. I'm saying it kind of fast for some reason, trying to pronounce it correctly. But that's pretty cool. They're white. Looks like all the slip cases are white with kind of a matching spine. It's got a
Oh, that's
back
cool.
with now this one's probably just Blu-ray only. But it looks like we're gonna get like some fancy slip covers over like maybe if it's a Blu-ray release, because some of these I'm sure this is the first time. Yeah, this is Subway, excuse me. And it is a 4K, so
Nice.
let's see if that roller skate on the back. Yeah, I'm very interested in watching these earlier things. That first one looks like that combat movie looks like a World War II movie. Let me pull one that everybody knows. There's Leon, the professional.
Oh, I have so many editions of that movie.
I can't remember. I don't know if I have a 4K of it or not. Seemed like I might have bought the 4K of it before. I can't remember. There's a back of the potted plant.
I like the theme they did just on all of them. That's really cool.
Yeah. And I'll show one more here. We can move on. There was The Fifth Element.
Oh yeah.
With the key on the back. And I definitely have this in 4K. I think I have the Steelbook 4K or just did they release a Steelbook 4K? But
Yeah.
there's nothing else really come with it. It's just the 4K disc and everything like that. So really cool. Oh, there was some more artwork on the back that's covered up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool box.
It's basically little cut scenes from all the movies that are in there. Yeah, that's what kind of caught my eye when I first saw it. It just had all these really nice, just the artwork. I thought it was a box set that's really worth picking up. And like I say, I was a fan of him, but I'm ashamed to say I haven't seen as many movies as I thought I had by him. Kind of weird. Well, lost my cursor. There we go.
It's somewhere on the 12 screens you got in front of you.
Yeah, I don't know how to make that more efficient. I'm sure there is. Some people use multiple mice.
Oh,
They'll have
that
like
was
a
confused
mouse
the
for
hell
each
out of me.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You showed off something big and awesome. This is one of the pickups I had to show off last week, but we never got to it. I was saving it for like the last big thing that I did, but then we just kept talking. I got that big Amazon exclusive box set for the 40th for Back to the Future.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a thick boy. I like that. And it comes with an exclusive steel book, a little mini guitar. There's a license plate in there. There's that Jaws poster. This comes off. I think it's just black though. Yeah, there's nothing behind there. But yeah, this thing is cool. It opens like a big giant gift box.
Nice.
There's our license plate. Put the
Is
book
that a
right.
real metal license plate?
It is. It is. It's in like its own little frame in here. I could
That's
take
nice.
that out and go put it on my car. That's the cover. I guess there's just a whole bunch of what is that? Is it a film cell? Shut up. What is this? Oh no, it's my California tax tags for my license plate when I want to go driving.
Uh.
And then you get this is really hard to do in here. Dude, this is awesome. You get a little guitar case.
That's cool.
Gibson
Really
guitar
awesome.
case is cardboard. It just opens and it should reveal. God, that's a stiff cardboard. Oh, it comes with you can have a stand for your little mini guitar. And then there's a replica Gibson that Michael J. Fox played. This is ridiculous. Is it an ornament? Or is that just a tag? I'm not going to hang. Oh, you get a guitar pick. That's why it's on there. Get a Back to the Future guitar pick? This is dumb. There's
They
so much.
really loaded that box set.
Dude, I had to jump all over this. I, like many others, was just sitting there because they put the link up, but it wasn't active yet to pre-order. Oh, look at that. That's hilarious. It's got
That's
a
awesome.
replica of the Under the Sea dance. That's pretty fun.
That's nice.
Just print it on there. That's
Looks like a good
cool.
quality little piece of.
Yeah,
The
it comes.
thing that sucks about those sets, though, you just kind of want to leave it in the box, just
I
to,
kind of do.
just because you don't want it to ever be damaged. But you also, it's really awesome that you kind of want to display that as well.
I know, right? They don't make it easy.
Yeah.
And they don't make it easy to put it back to where you feel comfortable that you're doing something correctly.
Yeah. Thanks, Collectopedia. I think this one might trump that set, though. My set just had movies and it didn't have any gifts.
I know this thing is. Here's the exclusive flux capacitor steelbook that you get with this set, and it holds.
That's
It's
awesome.
heavy too. Yep, you get your 4K and Blu-ray of all 3 films. And there's some new bonus features on this thing. But yeah, and I've also got coming this thing's stupid big. There's a softback book. There's my digital code, and you got a numbered card. So they made 5,585 of these, and this is 454.
That's supposed to be like 1985.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That is awesome. Did it
There's-
have any different? Are the other steelbooks the same? Are they any different? Or?
I think they did, like here in the US, we got new steelbooks, and in the UK, they got the same steelbooks, but they're in these like thicker full slips, and each film comes with like each film has like a whole bunch of stuff, little extra stuff. But those are only available in the UK. But I was able to get mine through the movie room, and those will hopefully be here for me to show off next week. But I like this. This was cool. I wish there was some embossing or something, but no, it's just
It looks like I think it was it the Blu-ray set that had the one that lit up in it? I have
yeah,
that somewhere.
yeah. I
Yeah,
used to have that. I don't know what if I ooh, did I get rid of that? That's gonna be sad. I remember going to Best
yeah.
Buy and like hunting one of those down. Oh, this is gonna be hard to put back together.
Yeah, that's a nice set. I like it.
This is cool. This is cool.
Unfortunately, I've got a bunch of anime, except for like one. Oh no, I've got two, but one is a Japanese movie, but one of them is a rebuy situation. But uh, I don't have to put this one up on the big screen because I think you have the steelbook of this, but I just picked up the regular dish
Oh yeah, yeah.
F1. Yeah. Or you were talking about getting it or something. You may have had it. I can't remember.
I think that was one that came in.
Yeah.
I believe I showed that off. I think that because there's like two steelbook options, two or three
Yeah.
actually. I think. We got ours was okay, but the one over in UK and Germany was pretty sweet.
While you're doing it, I'll show something. I'll just
Yeah.
show something else. This isn't really this really these were some rebuys, and I'll show you. And I talked about them on the show, and I was like, I don't know why they did that, and I end up rebuying them. And it's just a slightly nicer slip. These are the you won't be able to read them from here. You can read this one, but it's the Evangelion Rebuild
Oh, okay.
movies, and they've only released the first two so far. I didn't pull the other one, but they're the other ones have like the Blu-ray blue strip on the top, which kind of makes them ugly.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are the first one's this silver, which you can't read, but the old one, the very first one that came out is this one, which has a picture of like a scene from the movie in it, basically, and the name down here in the bottom. Which I'm not getting rid of these because they're different.
Yeah.
But this was the second part, the original, what it looked like. See, it was the name smaller,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with it. There was really no reason to rebuy them, but they were cheap, so I went ahead. But these are really clean, and the slip comes out the side. It's got the clear box, and and they're textured too. It's just a clean textured look. Now the third one in the series, the third movie, it actually it's textured, but it still has the Blu-ray across the top. I probably won't rebuy that one. It's the same theme as these, except it's got the Blu-ray, so there's not a real reason to rebuy it. But I did rebuy the fourth movie that came out. I think it's just Blu-ray. They rarely put this stuff on 4K because it don't really matter. Because you can put a 4K transfer on a Blu-ray disc, and it don't. There's like Akira and um, Ghost in the Shell looked phenomenally on 4K, but I bought this. This is a steelbook. That's why I bought this because for some reason, I believe this came out when it was originally released, but I don't know if I couldn't get it or didn't, but I don't really know why. But this was the fourth movie, and it's hard to read. I can't zoom in.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna have to
good.
buy.
You're good.
I'm gonna have to buy a different lens eventually. But the but it's Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.11. It's makes number 4. All these rebuilds have weird numbers. I think when they were released in theaters in Japan, like the first one's 1.11 and it was originally 1.00. And then when they came to Blu-ray, they called them 1.11, the rebuilds. They got extra added stuff for the Blu-ray. So somebody can correct me on that if that's not exactly right, but that's pretty much how I understand it. Sorry, for some reason I've been kind of obsessed with I always I kind of it's usually almost a yearly thing. I go back and rewatch it. So
Heck yeah.
I watched the original series. So these were the first two are like anime. They do these things where like Chainsaw Man was a legit movie they released. It was a new story, but anime, they do these things where they're recap movies, and they literally just take footage and may add a couple of new things, but mostly take footage from the TV show and just make a movie out of just a movie out of and they're just a recap. It's really strange, and the first 2, they're not recaps. They add a lot of new footage, they change stuff around, but the 3rd and 4th movie are basically brand new plot lines since things added to to the TV show. But
Uh,
it's really interesting and convoluted because it's a very controversial show in many aspects.
Interesting. Those things, anime is just there's just so much
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. And there's so much of it, and it's
Yeah.
kind of there's almost an annoying there's a lot of people I don't know, there's the annoying aspect to it that didn't exist in the early days when
Mm,
I first started back in, like, the '90s and early 2000s when I first really got into it, and, uh, and over the years, I watched it sporadically, so I there's people that probably started watching 2 years ago that somehow know everything about you got those people that know everything about it, and it's kinda how it is with different things. I don't I try not to gatekeep that kinda thing, but it's it exists in all the different mediums of pop pop culture anymore. And a lot of it has to do with where we just have, like, instant access to information on our phones. You
mm.
can look up something about it, and back in the day, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have any way to get information about it, so when I was I didn't have I literally had, one of my old roommates introduced me kind of the anime, the TV side show of it, and that's when I got into, like, Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that early on, but I had other friends, I couldn't even hold a gun to their head and make them watch it, and back in the day, it's just how it was. Some other roommates I had, I would try to let them watch some of it, they just didn't have any interest in it. It's 'cause it's not just cartoons, it's but that's the kinda attitude most people take with it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm ranting about that. What do you
That's
got,
cool.
Jody?
Let's see. One of the things that came in this week, I have not seen this movie. It's one that last little like Jordan Peele horror football, the Him Steelbook.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me get you blown up there. There we
Oh,
go.
you're good. Nice embossed title. So that's pretty cool. And it's
That's
like a
nice.
wraparound image. The trailers for this movie look wild, and this just gives me so many more questions.
Looks cool.
It looks
I
pretty
haven't
cool.
seen it either.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Lauren's
How's it
input
going,
tonight
movie
on
hunter?
that. But yeah, that was one of my ones that came in on the Amazon order. One that I was happy that wasn't damaged because they just threw it on the front porch and not even a padded mailer. It was just a mailer. And it was baggy. So both of them were just like in their own mailers. Didn't make any sense to me, but luckily no damage. So thank God.
Oh, let's see here. Some of this stuff, the movie I have here, um, I haven't watched it yet. I just got it in. It's a Japanese movie by the name of Amiko,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, it was just one that came up on the new list, and I read about it. It just seemed interesting. Um, Other than that, I don't know a heck of a lot about it yet. I was going to Yeah, I think it's just about an eccentric Japanese girl, like most movies. But I will say we talked about Kamikaze Girls. I showed you guys that a couple weeks ago, and it
Oh
is
yeah.
fantastic, fantastic.
Oh, was it?
It kinda yeah, yeah. I've watched it like 3 times. It was that good. And it's nothing perverse about it. It's just a good, clean well, not clean, but it's just a good anime about couple girls who becomes friends, and it gave me the kind of feeling I get when watching Clueless. It was just like a fun story. You have this one girl who dresses in like 18th century, like French style clothing,
Yeah.
like always. It's called the Rococo era. 'Cause it's part of the story. And the other girl is like this she's part of, like, this biker gang, but she rides a scooter. But it's like this modified scooter. It's got one of those big giant seats on the back, and it's got, like, a big exaggerated it's got like a motorcycle thing on the front. It's
Yeah.
but she yeah, eh, and they just basically become friends throughout the movie, and because 'cause they're complete polar opposites, and it's just the story that goes along with it. It's just crazy. It's just really fun. It's just a fun movie.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Did I sh yeah, I showed, Miko.
Looks
I
like
need to
we've
sit
got
down and
a
watch it, though.
looks like we've got Movie Hunter joining us in the
Yeah.
chat here. He likes to pop in every now and then. Got him delivered in a pillowcase sliced paperback. Yeah, pretty much. It was trashed. I was surprised mine wasn't. Man, I tell you what, that was sounds like we all got that one for some reason. They've been doing pretty
Yeah.
good here lately. But yeah, when those both showed up separate and he's it's the size of a pillowcase. There's zero
Yeah.
padding in it. It's just a paper bag that you get at Kroger, and they're shipping these and that. But another one that came in, same mailer, was I got the 4K steelbook for Spinal Tap 2. And this is another one that surprised me. The actual Stonehenge is embossed,
Oh, no.
and so is the title. It's like double embossing. It's pretty cool. And you get a badass.
I didn't even know that came out.
Yeah. Drops on physical this week, Tuesday. Is when it hit. But yeah, it was got a pretty epic. I made the disc out. See, it was probably. I think the disc is just it's the title. Pretty epic live shot on the inside. Yeah, I'm eager to check this one out. It's like I heard things, but it was over. Oh no, there's a baby. Hang on, take me off the screen.
But, I've been, I don't know, I've been in a really big, anime kick here lately. I don't really know why. I mean, there's been some good stuff come out this year, like, I'm sorry if you can go ahead and continue. I was just trying to
Oh,
fill
you're
dead
good.
air.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Uh, yeah.
It,
Um, I picked up this everybody. This is Dan, the first season. There's 2 seasons right now, but only as far as I know, this is the only season on Blu-ray at the moment. It's on DVD or Blu-ray. So hopefully I can,
wash your fingers.
but the 3rd season's supposed to come out here soon should come out here soon, but I was showing that's another anime series that's really good that's out right now.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty new season. I think you can watch this on Netflix as well, but it's called Dan to Dan. It's kind of a horror anime. Really kind of I think Dan to Dan. It was a really well received manga. I'm trying to think if it was in Shonen Jump though. I'm not sure. Shonen Jump's a weekly magazine in Japan where they publish anime anime. And I guess it's kind of almost like news strip, or they may have a page or 2 of it. But that's how like One Piece got big. One Piece is Shonen Jump, and there's a lot of that's how a lot of either a manga or an anime gets made, it gets made from people publishing stuff into that, like writers and people like that, as far as I understand, and I guess you get it. There's other information in it, but I think Dan to Dan was one of those, possibly. I think it was as well.
They look
But
cool.
this is good. Yeah, it's like really strange. Like the guy, he's like it's advertised like he's into UFOs. He's like into UFOs. He's always reading these magazines, like conspiracy magazines. But he's into UFOs, but not into the paranormal. But she's not into. But the girl in here that he meets in class is not into UFOs, but she's into the paranormal. But the show's not about that at all. It's about them. Like she's got some kind of powers or something. But he basically he gets in the first episode he gets attacked by like this alien, and he ended up transferring his power to him, and they have these weird powers and stuff. I'm not going to get into the weird stuff about how they. I'm sorry, I'm bad about anime. I cannot explain half the time. It's just it's like, where do I begin? Do I tell them that the alien that attacked him took his balls from him, and he's got to get them back? But it's bizarre, but it's a hugely popular. And there's these two like other aliens. They're basically trying to. They like rip her clothes off, and they're trying to like do stuff to her, and like, but she is able to fight back because she has like these like psychic type powers. It's like she has powers of like paranormal type power. I don't know if they're like demon powers, but it's fucking bizarre, the whole show, but it makes sense. It's got all these weird people they had to fight. Yeah, but he basically gets possessed by this. I'm sorry, I can't remember the names of it, but he gets possessed by this alien, but his abilities mainly he just runs really fast, and he's got these he's got this speed ability. Different people have different abilities, and it's what I like. I'm sorry I can't explain it. Like, one of these days when I know I'm gonna be showing it stuff up, I need to actually write out a synopsis, so
Right.
'cause I'm better at writing stuff out and then reading it to come enough. And it's just bizarre. It's like, that's why I said with Evangelion, I can't it's hard for it's like, where do I start at? It's just, like, so dense of information because it's not something I really fully understood for years. Just you have to watch it enough and you pick up things 'cause there's so much information in it. 'Cause Evangelion, its plot is moved along in this, like, Catholic, like, religious setting, but it's also like this semi-robot fighting anime. But the Evangelion aren't they're organic. They're these organic beings that were grown from these basically grown from Adam and Lilith. And it's this really bizarrely twisted, but none of the writers were religious. They just liked the symbolism. So they worked all the symbolism into this show. And mainly the main writer and the main guy who directed it, Hideaki Anno. He's like really famous, and I have another one of his animes here. He it's just he was literally like a year before he went through this depression. So this show is supposedly him working out his depression. So the main characters are like different parts. Like, one is his ego, and one is like different things you would work out in a psychiatrist would help you work out.
Oh, he's still angry. Yeah. Both your okay, so both his got damaged. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I got to the point with Amazon there for a little while. I stopped fairly recently, but I used to order two. Every time I would just order two, and hopefully one of the two would arrive okay. And I felt like by ordering at least two, sometimes they'll put two in a box instead of a bag. So That's always my kind of hope. But I stopped doing that because I started both of them would be all right, and then I got to go to the UPS and drop it off. It just became an ordeal. But yeah, they suck. They really do because you never know what they're going to ship it in.
Yeah, they have the craziest packaging. I think maybe why I'm not saying people's not having things damaged, but part of what might help it is they have a lot of their own drivers,
Mm,
and I know their drivers are treated bad, but I bet they get treated even worse if they fuck up packages.
yeah.
I bet they get docked. Don't tell. Who knows? I've never heard anybody talking about that, but if they start messing up packaging and things like that, they might if they're throwing stuff down and stuff because that might be the reason why they tried to start their own delivery company because UPS and FedEx and stuff. Maybe UPS worse than FedEx, but UPS they don't give a fuck about stuff or used to not. They may now, but in the back in the day, they didn't care about if they damaged packages or not. What, I don't yeah, well, I don't know. You say you have hundreds of anime and have never watched any of them. Do you own it physically or that's what I mean, I don't know. I mean, just something easy and accessible and not that's more or less straightforward to be Cowboy Bebop. I mean, that's probably one of the most, at least to Americans, one of the most, one of the most, famous, that's one that probably really got people, the American market into anime to me especially when they played it on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. They may have just played on regular Cartoon Network. It's not, it's not necessary. Well, I guess it had you play on Adult Swim. It's not anything lewd about it, but suggestive maybe. Yeah, I don't know if that one's. Don't think there's a steelbook of that. There's a steelbook of the Cowboy Bebop movie that I have, but it's not. It's just kind of a. It's just a one-off movie. Um, I don't know. Gundam's good. I mean, the thing is most of this stuff. I mean, if it's movies, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, like, what is what's the blue? I always forget the beginning of that movie. I just pre-ordered the 4K is coming out. Oh, whatever it is. But I mean, as far as good ones, like I mean, the classics are like Mobile Suit Gundam. Um, shit. Oh, I don't know. There's tons of classic. Uh, but let me see here. Like as far as going and watching stuff, I have a list here of the stuff I've been watching, but just so I can remember this stuff. Stuff that's out right now that's been really good was obviously like Dan Da Dan, and one that was real good was Takapi's Original Sin or Tokapi. It's spelled T-A-K, so I think it's Takapi's Original Sin. Doctor Stone's really good. Uh, well, Fully Cool is really good. It was made by the same, yeah, Perfect Blue. Thank you. Yeah, I always forget the name of it. Yeah, Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann's made by Evangelion came out of a I keep saying famous. I don't know what I'm saying. It's a really well known studio called Studio Gainax, and it was kind of founded by Hideaki Anno, but I don't think he had any control of it because he ended up leaving later on when they were kind of screwing him out of money or in the and but they made they made Gurren Lagann and they made I think they made this for sure because this is another Hideaki Anno. This is Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. There we go. Which I haven't seen yet. I just sit down like that's what I'm saying. There's so much anime that I don't really understand how people that have these who have these websites they claim to have watched all they do. I think a lot of people maybe watch 1 or 2 episodes, but they don't and that's all. And there might be some people who will watch, like, yeah, the Cowboy Bebop TV series, yeah. And, yeah, yeah, Cowboy Bebop should be on Crunchyroll. Yeah. And, what I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. But, yeah, that's just some of the stuff I was talking about is just now. Chainsaw Man's awesome, that's a new one. People bitch about that all the time. I'm sorry, I'm Jody, I'm going on and on
Oh,
and
you're
on.
good.
Nothing
You
nothing
guys are
serious.
talking right now.
But, all this stuff is like I was telling Jody earlier, I've been sporadic with my movie anime watching over the years, and I go in and out, and oh, another good one would be like, um yeah, yeah, I've got that. I showed that off last week, the steelbook and that. Why am I going blank on everything for? Yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm.
But, like, I like Dragon Ball, the original, a little bit better. It's the kind of the more it's one that came out in the '80s. It's kind of the original. Z's good, but it's not one that I personally like as much, but it's hugely popular because it's kinda I call them fighting animes where they'll spend, like, 2 episodes on one fight scene for some reason, and that's kinda why I have trouble watching, have trouble watching, the One Piece anime. It's kinda like that. It's, they kinda draw out these fight scenes. I'm like, "Just get on with it, Junior. I don't wanna get into the plot of the show. I don't want you spending 2 episodes on one fight scene." It's like, "What the fuck?" Like like, I mean, but yeah, I mean, if you can make it through that stuff, One Piece is good, but it's just like what they did with it on Netflix is pretty good, actually. It was actually pretty good, so, I can't complain about it, but some of that stuff, I like stuff that's got more concurrent. One that I have been watching, though, it's called Decadence. It's a I haven't finished it yet, but I've just been watching been watching a bunch at one time, so I go back and forth to one thing or watch something on DVD I have and then things like that. Um, I'll occasionally like musical animes, mainly ones that deal with more like rock bands, not so much idol group type stuff, but, I like Bocce the Rock was really good, and, another one that I liked is called Girl Band Cry, was really good,
Hmm.
and it's about, like, another rock group. I find those kind of a similar you'll find that a lot in anime. There's a lot of copycats and stuff out there. You'll see a lot of similar themes in them, but they're both good shows regardless. Um, I don't know all the differences. There's stuff like people call isekai. I don't know if isekai is like I think kind of like romantic situational type stuff. I don't like that stuff very much. Or the weird stuff where they get into like kind of sub incest stuff. That stuff people have been talking about that a lot lately. It's really weird. It's like these really suggestive, like almost incest type shows. Because it
Yeah.
evidently is a thing in Japanese culture. Like not so much in reality, but at least in like pornography and things like that. Because they just I think a few years ago they did it wasn't too long ago, maybe 10 years ago, they finally outlawed it in manga. Something like that, like yeah, it's really strange, but they're still making anime that's really suggestive that it's in there. It's these weird I was like, "Screw that stuff," and people talk about watching it all the time. It's like, "Oh, that kinda anime don't interest me at all." I like science fiction and, I do like weird stuff, but not like that. Yeah. But the thing you gotta understand about Japanese society, though, and I don't condone that. But the one thing you got to understand is they're not a Christian society. Their culture's not based on a Christian morals.
Yeah.
And there's universal morals: don't kill people, be nice to people, things like that. But you got to understand it's more of a Buddhist type culture. So I don't live in it, so I don't exactly know how that is, but I can get a sense of it by, being interested in the culture, but not actually living it. I have no idea what it's like. But
Yeah.
there are practicing Christians and things in Japan. It's just they're a small minority, Catholics and Christians and things like that. So, and now I've went on for ever and ever today. Listen to me rant about anime and stuff like that. I'm sorry I talked about anime, so I know you're not as interesting, Jody, about it. You guys aren't as interested about it, but I don't have a lot of people to vent it to at this point in time.
Now I'm always I mean, like I said, it's all sounds so interesting, but kind of like you said earlier, it's so hard to explain because there's like, do you want to know about
Yeah,
this? You want to know about this? And like that's like the part that I'm just like, God, I would have to start from some sort of beginning and
yeah.
hope that I went back far enough. So
Yeah,
it's gotten out of my hands now. I just
yeah, it's I mean, there's always been a lot of stuff. It doesn't hurt to, watch some things, watch some
yeah.
things, but I'm trying not to be one of those people trying to watch every single thing. There's a lot of classic stuff. I wanna watch a lot of things, but I wanna watch the things I wanna watch. I don't wanna
Yeah.
watch things just to watch it. See, there was a big controversy here lately online that a lot of people are calling people a lot of the big anime people are calling they've been calling out people for being anime tourists. And not so much people like me, but there's been people who just got into it the last couple of years, like, especially since COVID. And now, what sparked off the controversy, well, it's not controversy, just online bullshit, but what sparked it off is people were, there's a channel out there they're called the Anime Men, like they were kinda ripping off the Comic Book Men. Remember that show?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that but Anime Men, and, like, they did a video where they were gonna watch, like, the first episode of every popular anime from that year, starting in, like, the '60s, like, the most popular anime of that year till to present. And, like, the people watching them for, like, it's just their reviews. It's like they didn't never even watched anime, and they got one of these channels that's probably 1,000,000 plus subscribers, and they don't seem to know shit about anime. So all the other anime channels start calling them out on it and all this stuff. So, I don't like that's gatekeeping, really, calling people tourists and stuff. If you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I can understand with them because they just didn't seem there was, like, I think one guy in there that claimed that he didn't even watch anime really. It's like, "You're part of this group of people that call themselves anime?" Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I only got one other thing to show off this week. Um, I guess this is the first DreamWorks. Usually Warner Brothers and Paramount and Universal have been putting out these really nice hard full slips over in the UK for new editions, and sometimes you get a new steelbook too, which like in this one I got the one for The Wild Robot. Comes in this really nice hard case. The title and her eyes are like spot gloss, so that's kind of cool. But yeah,
Oh,
they're I guess the DreamWorks is going to start doing these. Hopefully, we'll get some good ones in the future. Really cool slipcover. You get a bunch of stuff. You get a poster. You get art cards. You get this nice booklet, and then you get this brand new exclusive steelbook, which is really it's all
that's
just
nice. That looks
super
good.
super glossy. But I like how there's no title because I mean, if you've gotten this far, you know what movie you bought.
Is that a pretty good movie? I haven't seen that. I remember
It is
it
pretty
was on
good.
there.
and it was like fairly recently when I sat down and watched it, and I was it was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
the ending's a little. I mean, it's all right. It's I don't know what I wanted out of it, but other than the ending, I was kind of iffy on the ending of it. But the movie itself, I mean, it's a good story, and it looks fantastic. Um, I would definitely say watch it for sure. Definitely check it out.
It's not.
I think they did 3,000 of these, and this was 855. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Oh,
Uh,
yeah, and even on the back, the robot is spot gloss, so that's
uh,
pretty cool. I got mine through Zavvi, um, but I bet if available still locally, you could check out the movie room and see if they got any left.
yeah, Movie Hunter anime is the most expensive I've found, and yes, some of these animes stills look provocative. One name it's wrong. Try to pick up a girls in a dungeon. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I've got one because there was this YouTuber I used to watch that was highly recommended one, and it's really crazy. It was called Redo the Healer, and it's a very perverted. It's definitely a X-rated anime,
Whoops.
and yeah, it's but if it wasn't perverted, it might be an interesting story. It's about this all these a lot of these take place in these worlds. It's almost like a video game world where
Hmm.
they have these like RPG. It's like almost like an RPG and anime together where they have powers. And this one guy, he goes back. There's basically he gets picked out of this village. He has powers. They can sense his powers, and he has powers of a healer. But and basically, and you have these other like warrior people who fight for the kingdom. So he has to heal them. But every time he heals them, he feels their pain. So
Hmm.
he's absorbing, like, their pain. So and they just end up abusing him and just using him, thing like that, and, like, do sexual things to him that aren't good. So he at one point, he ends up encountering this thing who gives him, like, more power, and it allows him to, like, reset time, and he resets everything, and he goes back and, like, takes his revenge on all these people, and that like,
Word.
there's this one, like, warrior girl who's, like, been really abusive to him, and he, like, completely, like well, he does bad things to her, but at the end of all this stuff, she's, like, really pretty, and he takes her well, she still is pretty after it, but he takes it and completely changes her face so nobody can recognize her, that she was, like, this royalty, so nobody can recognize it makes her basically his slave and makes him follow her around, and so he basically goes and finds all these other girls and does and he helps some of them, but he basically recruits them so they can help him take revenge on all these people. It's like, it would be an interesting story, but it's, like, pornographic in there as well, like, a lot of nudity, at least a lot of top nudity and things like this.
Right.
Yeah, it's
It's like you're almost there, but I don't. We don't need all that.
yeah. There's stuff like that, there's one that I was watching, I don't know if I wrote that down, but it's not the actual name of the anime. There's these animes that have these insanely there's like a they have a half a paragraph's the name of it in Japanese, in Japanese, kanji text. It'll be like that. But I don't think I wrote it down or not. Oh yeah, it's called Reborn as a Vending Machine. It's reborn as a vending machine, and there's something else. It's got another line in English, and it's more than that in Japanese. And it's a how's it going? Basement Blues. I think it's what
Basement
it is.
Blues.
That's somebody you know?
I
But
know
it
that
doesn't matter.
name.
Well, it doesn't matter if we know you're not welcome. You're welcome here. But but yeah, it's kinda good though. It's just this guy, he's basically dies at the beginning, and he's reincarnated as a vending machine. He was, like, obsessed with vending machines in real life, like
Yeah.
Japanese are, like,
Oh yeah.
we talked about that before, Japanese have vending machines all over the place. In Japan, there's vending machines everywhere, and so he comes back as one, but it's like a magical vending machine. But he's reincarnated in, like, the wrong time period. He's, like, in basically, like, the 1500s, but it's like this sort of a RPG game where there's people with magic, but he gets found. There's this girl that finds him, and she kind of figures out that he can give her food and things, anything, but it's all magical. But he's got this, like, he has to sell stuff. If not, his time runs out. He's like has to make money to keep living essentially. And so he has to convince people to buy stuff, but also he like, as a game would do, he also upgrades and allows him to sell more stuff, or
Mm.
he can, like, generate a force field around himself so things can't hurt him. It's bizarre. It's just like, how in the hell do you think about these things? And Japanese aren't like that big of drug users either. So I mean, because it's pretty illegal over there. I'm not saying people don't, but there's way more punishment in Japan for get caught with drug. In fact, like, if you're out in a bar, and you leave the bar and they suspect that maybe you took, like, some kinda, like, ecstasy or something like that, if the
Yeah.
police catch you on the sidewalk, they can, even if you don't possess it, they'll take you to the police station and do, like, a blood test or whatever, and if they find that in there, you're probably going to prison. Yeah, or at
Nice.
least to jail, but yeah. If you're a foreigner and you smoke weed before you go over there, and if you get caught and you get tested, the same thing can apply to you, even though you don't even possess it in the country, but it's in your system still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
wild.
weird things like that, kinda cultural differences.
Yeah. Definitely do some reading before you leave the country,
Oh,
guys.
and Japan's not actually Japan either. We call it Japan, and it's actually Nippon.
Yeah.
Nippon. That's what they call it. Nippa. Nippa. Nippa.
Huh.
That's yeah. That's a Japanese, and it's weird. It's not, but it comes from Nippon. It used to be Nippon, Nippon, and
Okay.
but that was pre-World War II, Nippon. They changed their name a multitude of times because the Chinese were making fun of them for it at one time, because the Japanese name basically translated to the people who bow, and they were getting made fun of, so they changed it, and then it became just like that anime is talking about. It was this long line, this whole sentence that was like the Royal Imperial Magical Kingdom of Japan, based something like that before World War II. Then they got their asses handed to them in World War II, so they just shortened it to Nepal, which is like Nippon.
Huh.
So they weren't so righteous after that. And I say that stuff. I love Japan, and I love Japanese culture, modern Japanese cultures, because imperial Japanese culture is different. Pre World War
Mm.
II is much different than post World War II. It's very insensitive to say this, but it's the first time in history, I think, that one country bombed an attitude adjustment into another one. Took a nuclear bomb, a couple of them, to do it, but and I don't take that serious lightly. It's just a joke, everybody. But it's weird that it kind of is. But if it wasn't for the nuclear bomb and the American influence, you wouldn't have anime, or they wouldn't have the Japanese pop culture, and none of that stuff would exist. Because more than likely, if they whatever if we didn't get into the world, they'd probably still be the same way they were. They'd probably still be
Mm.
an imperial country, which is very authoritarian, essentially.
Crazy stuff. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm not blaming the people. It's just like people talk about, the United States get lumped into a category. The people are probably fine, but you know, they but they were all they got extremely brainwashed during World War II. They got so brainwashed during World War II after we would take over islands and even in that they like the women were so brainwashed that the men were they're gonna grape them and eat them. They were telling the American soldiers were gonna eat them, grape them, do all this horrible stuff to them. They were committing suicide by jumping off cliffs. Like, the American soldiers had that they were horrified when they seen them doing this. They were, like, actually shooting the ground in front of them to keep them from killing themselves. And then they were surprised that the Americans actually treated them pretty good. Sure it's not 1000% of every situation, but for the most part, we, like, fed them. They'd been fed more than they were even being fed before the war, and we fed them and treated them good, didn't do any of that stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
Movie hunters. Arcade games are mostly all made or designed in Japan. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, one of the best arcades. I remember
yeah,
my local Walmart had it as you walked out the door. Freaking Tekken. Oh, I love that game.
yeah. But, yeah, we've had we've had a decent amount of American-made indie stuff mostly, but still, like, my favorite's still Nintendo, so
Mm.
it's still most of the stuff. But I play a lot of the indie games too now, on Steam a lot, but, yeah, they still the vast majority of stuff get made over there. What sucks about Japan, though, is, like, I'm sorry I'm talking about anime again, not games, but it probably applies to gaming too, is, like, the animators, apparently, a lot of the animation is being it's like CG work's being done here in Hollywood. It's being shipped off to different countries because they refuse to pay their people a living wage. They refuse to pay the animators a living wage.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just made a big deal out of it. They just came out here recently, said they're gonna actually put money into the anime community because it's the only what that's the only money that's been generated in Japan right now, apparently. Because they've been in a depression since the '90s, essentially, a steady decline because apparently they have a real sorry, I'm butchering that word. They have a big hierarchy in their corporations. It's
Mm.
a very, they basic what's the word for it? What's the word for it? With seniority, it's a very seniority base. So the older guys are on top, younger guys are below, and evidently because of this, over the years, like when things started, when see they what why they dominated in electronics is because it's hardware, and they dominated the hardware market. But when things started becoming more software based, you had a lot of your computers had obviously a lot of software, but when you had in different devices run mostly software, like new phones, it's basically all software. It's not the hardware. Don't there's there's the hardware is less important than the software, and they started falling. Their software started falling behind, and so but what they were doing is basically they would build a product. They'd build, like, for example, they say, like, well, there's a boom box. We built a boom box. This boom box needs software. Well, we built the whole software. So here, uh, we built the hardware. They hand it to the software people and, like, now make it work. So, and you can't work like that. You got to have integration. You got to work together. When
Yeah.
whenever, you have to, when you're building something like that, you have to all come together and work your problems together. But that's kind of what I understand they were kind of doing that. So over the years, they got behind on software. So now what's going on in Japan is they're importing software and $100 billion worth of software kind of stuff. So they're losing this massive amount of money
Hmm.
because of the software stuff, and apparently anime's got so popular, it's the main import. So now they were talking about this has come out like the last couple of weeks that they're gonna put in like tons of money into anime and completely saturate the market and ruin it, I'm sure. And it's kind of getting that way anyways. But yeah. Sorry guys, I got on a anime tangent tonight. Yeah, I know, but storage space, I am out of storage space. I don't know what to do about storage space. I know you guys were talking amongst yourself, but the storage space is crazy. Yeah, I do too. I wish I had the money to buy authentic arcade games. Those multi cabinets are
Yeah.
cool, but I'd like to have one of those, but I like to have one that's a couple authentic old cabinets. Like I was saying, I think last week, like a Donkey Kong cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, one would be cool is I saw there was a channel that I subscribed to several months ago they restore old video game cabinets, and they were restoring like a Simpsons cabinet, and
Oh
that's
wow.
a cabinet I'd like to have. You remember the Simpsons game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
That
were yeah.
that company Arcade One Up did a pretty decent job of doing the little miniature recreation of it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. What was the other game? Another that X-Men game is awesome. You remember that X-Men
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
fighting game was really good, and I think
Yeah.
there's multiple, but I think you know which one I'm talking about, the one
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
real popular, yeah.
The one little arcade one up I have, it's got a Marvel fighting game, it's got an X-Men game, and a Punisher game. Punisher game is hilarious. And it was fun. Like I was playing it, and I was surprised how fast it was. Like maybe 3 or 4 levels, and then haha, the big bad, and then your
Yeah,
game's over.
yeah.
We had Tony's in the chat
Yeah.
complaining about not having room. He's got the most. I mean, he's got multiple rooms of movies, so you could find another room
Uh,
somewhere in that house just to make a room of arcade games. I know you can figure it out. Yeah,
nice.
Tony's collection's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, we're used to having a three-way chat going on here. We're kinda scrambling around here, but
Yeah, I'm trying to
yeah,
catch up.
I'm just gonna flash this stuff up because I don't really I've talked enough anime tonight, but it's called Darling in the Franxx. It's another really good
Oh yeah,
anime series.
I like that
I think
cover.
it's
That's
funny
cool.
is just the girl looks like a lot that girl Power in Chainsaw Man. It's funny how because she's got like little devil horns.
Just copy and paste.
She's like a different yeah, well, no, not really. It's just if somebody likes a series, they'll kind of copy it or something. I don't really know why they do that. I think she's got kind of blondish, but I think it's kind of pinkish hair too. Like that girl has pink hair and that. And I'll just throw this one up real quick. This was a classic. Now this is kind of when I was rebuying it, I hadn't watched it in years. I bought this like a long time ago on DVD. This was Golden Boy. It's about this. It's about a college student. He decides to drop out of college just to kind of travel around and live life and see the country. But it's about him like meeting women and I don't know. Japanese men are like hyper obsessed with boobs. It's about mean girls because that's in Chainsaw Man. That's one of his motivating factors in the show is that he wants to. Well, he wants to be he's had this really rough, like, life before he becomes Chainsaw Man, and he just wants to have a girlfriend, but he also his motivating factor is to touch like, the supervisor, the main girl character that has all the powers, he wants to be able to touch her boobs. Like it touch other. It's fun. Yeah, it's great. The Chainsaw Man's really good, but the controversy around Chainsaw Man was people were complaining that some of the animations made with CGI, it was done with CGI and stuff, and it's not,
Yeah.
it it doesn't really as it doesn't reflect the manga style as much because the movie does. They got a different director for the m I don't care, I think it looks good because he took a different direction with the TV series, and it's one of those you like it, you don't, you know? And a lot of the people who don't like it are probably people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about in the first place, you know? Yeah. But the guy who wrote the manga, he's, like, really big into Western cinema, so you can s it's heavily influenced by, like, Tarantino and some other directors, you can see it because they all wear, like, they all the whole organization, the Devil Hunters, they wear, like, suits that look like they wearing Reservoir Dogs, so stuff like that, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of callback to, like, American cinema.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, they have a steelbook of that? I don't where are you getting all these steelbooks of this stuff at? I don't understand, because I've never even seen the steelbook. I don't know why they would even have a steelbook of that.
Unless it's like an older DVD steelbook. I could see a lot of those bigger, taller ones. Season 1. Huh.
That's crazy. You need to watch some of them. It's good stuff. Yeah. No, I don't doubt it, but it's weird, like, when I don't well, it doesn't matter, it's like some of this stuff is new buys for me anyway, so I don't know when that stuff when it came out, it may have had steelbook, but yeah, I don't put precedent over buying steelbook over regular thing, I just want the, the content, uh, but I'll buy the steelbook whenever it's something pretty cool, it's like that Evangelion was really cool. I've been buying more than I have here recently, I've bought a lot of steelbooks here recently because 'cause they've been putting out some nice stuff.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, Crunchyroll, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've never bought from Crunchyroll. Yeah, yeah. I don't usually actively hunt them because anime's expensive enough as it is. So, with anime steelbooks is what I'm talking about, yeah. I like trying to find special editions of things.
You gotta go hunt them down.
Mashiko and Hutchins, another good anime, it came out in 2008. It looks, it was evidently intentionally made to look kinda like Cowboy Bebop. Even the guy who directed Cowboy Bebop is the music director, because in it, which was really weird, but he didn't have anything to do with the directing of the show or the writing of it, but it's really good. Like I talked about it here before, but it looks like a lot like it looks a whole lot like, the first episode of Cowboy Bebop when they're on the kind of the Central American looking, um, asteroid that's got the dome on it. It kinda reminds you of there, kinda like Mexico or something, but it takes place in Brazil. Mashiko and Hutchins does, but that's a fun one.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, forced to buy them to keep the collection. Well, I respect the fact that you can, you're able to actually do what I would like to be able to do is be more of just an archivist than buy lots of things. So I do respect that aspect of buying nice quantities of stuff. But generally, when I started collecting, I was buying I'd buy something and watch it, buy it, and watch it. Not till I got up into doing the channel,
I'll
having
be
the
right back,
channel and
John.
stuff,
Okay.
I started buying mass things. Okay.
Sorry.
Hopefully I hadn't run it off, um, but yeah, that I, but yeah, I appreciate that. I like having I like to see your collection. Do you I assume you have a channel. I need to follow you if you do. Oh, yeah. It's crazy how many steel looks they had. They used to just, you know, just be hit and miss on what they came out with. Now they come up out just about everything comes out now in steelbook. I just don't I don't know. It's just I don't know. To me, it's oh, you have an Instagram account? Okay, I'll check. I might follow you actually on there. I'm not real social with social media. That's why I don't have as many followers over the years and stuff. I don't talk to people a whole lot, things like that, and I just don't. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just don't. I like doing this. I just like talking people to face to face. I'm not a big communicator when it comes to talking to people online too much. It kind of limits my it kind of limits my access to people and people I talk to. Nice. Yeah, I need Yeah, I always forget about Crunchyroll, them selling. I've watched Crunchyroll, I just don't I always forget to watch them with, when it comes to I forget to check and see what they're selling. It used to be before Crunchyroll, before I was really using those channels, they claimed that I think it was before Crunchyroll but one of the sites beforehand, they used to let you download stuff. If you had a subscription, you could download all of it. It was pretty strange. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm streaming over there tonight on Instagram. That's the first time I've tried streaming, and maybe here in the future we might, Jody might stream over there, and maybe if we can get Lauren, we might stream her channel because they have really big. I have a couple thousand on Instagram, but they have like I think Jody has 7. I think Lauren has like 10 or something now. They've really grown their Instagram followers a whole lot. Yeah, right stuff anime. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch. That's what somebody was complaining about other day that they need to, the Japanese anime streaming companies need to open up they need to get rid of their, like, rights restrictions and allow American streamers to access oh, no, what they were saying, they also restrict access to, you know, outside of Japan, but they don't obviously, they don't where they're Japanese only, they don't translate anything. And somebody was saying they need to dub their own stuff, which I like subtitles myself, but they need to uh, basically form their own dubbing company so they can do their own dubbing and do their own subtitling, stuff like that. So, hey, I agree. I mean, I don't really complain too much about Crunchyroll. I also have that other one. I can't remember the name of it now. I don't watch it as much. It has some more independent stuff on there. I can't pull it up on my TV right now. I can't remember the name of it. But Crunchyroll, I don't really complain. I don't have any problems. But some of the people who are really hardcore watchers said they've been the last year or so, the past year, they've been doing a lot of their subtitling with using AI, and apparently it screws up things and misspells stuff, and I don't know about that. I haven't had much trouble out of anything I've been watching. So, what else was but I usually what we do on here is I usually pull up what's coming out next week on coming out, not what's coming out on Blu-ray, 4K, steelbooks, things like that. And so I'll probably pull that page up here in a minute. But one thing I was going to say about steelbooks is the reason I kind of got out of steelbooks is and the reason I got into them is because when I didn't really collect many before 4K, but when I got into the reason it got me into them is because at first the steelbooks and a regular 4K disc, not always, but a lot of times the regular 4K release would be like $28 or something, 27.99 or 28.99 or even up to 29.99 sometimes. And then the steelbook would only be like 32.99 or 34.99. So buying the steelbook versus the regular version was a no duh. But now the prices have kind of dropped, and actually steelbooks have went up, and the regular 4Ks went down. So I kind of just, most of the time I just want the movie anyway. And sometimes I just don't like the artwork on the steelbook. Sometimes they're really good, and sometimes with a certain movie, I just want it to have the original poster art. I'm not, sometimes if the artwork's done really well, I don't mind it on a steelbook, but sometimes it's not good. I'm just not gonna buy it for no reason. But steelbooks, where it's become so popular, they have, a lot of these companies try to do a really good job on them now. So, like what I've said here recently, I've probably bought close to probably 8 or 10 the last month or so. So I I'll buy them when they are applicable and I can get a hold of them, but they get sold out pretty quick now. I didn't think I was going to get that Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, but I end up getting it. Just whatever you guys want to talk about. I don't know when Jody will be back here. Just leave me a message there if you want to talk about something. I'll bring up that channel right there, Blu-ray.com. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got something when I was in the Disney Club before. Did they bring that back or did they get rid of it? I never could figure out because I bought some stuff when they first announced they were getting rid of it. I bought a few titles, but I ended up getting sent like a couple of steelbooks because I forgot to cancel, and they sent it to me anyways. And yeah, they were. I think both of them were steelbooks. Yeah, they canceled it all year. I thought they did, but I occasionally get a letter from Disney saying something about the club, but acts like it still exists, but it's really strange. Let me see here. Let me get this shared over here. We'll start talking about this stuff. Hope I didn't bore hope I didn't bore Jody too much about all my anime talk and Japanese talk and stuff like that. I do want to go to Japan one day just to visit though. I just can't I can't justify going there to live there. For one, I just not qualified to really. Well, I mean, I could go over and get a blue collar job probably doing something, but I'm not going to another country and not being able to halfway speak. I'm not going there to live there and not be able to speak their language. There we go. Oh wow, that even comes up on Instagram like that too. That's pretty cool. All right. Sorry if I'm boring anybody. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Japan would be fun. Disney's in charge of all their releases from Disney. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, Japan would be It'd just be fun. I'd like to go over there and see some of not just I like to go the reason why, I could probably muster been able to I could probably afford to maybe go for, like, a week, but traveling that far just to go over there for a week, you know, I'd wanna go for, like, a month so I could see some things. I mean, obviously, I do wanna go to Tokyo and see different places in Tokyo, but I also wanna go to, like, the countryside and see go to some of the onsens, the hot spring and stuff like that, and some of the towns and things outside of the cities and see, the actual culture of Japan, not just go there for anime. Even though I'd love to go to like, I think it's Shibuya. That's where I don't know if that's where they call it, if there's an area, there's a little prefect or whatever in Tokyo that they call like Anime City or something like that. That's where there's all kinds of buildings that sell anime. And it's all anime themes. I think that's where a lot of those a lot of the maid yeah, they call them maid bars. It's where people can go in there and they have girls that you can talk to, or they'll share their tea. I have no interest in that, but it's where those kind of theme things, it's a lot of the tourist trap stuff where they sit outside and lure you into it or lure lonely men in there. But yeah, let's take a look at this. Take a look, see what's going on here. We got Blu-rays. It's a release calendar. I meant to maybe get that hard boiled that came out last week. I need to buy that 4K. It'd be pretty good. There's that Amico I picked up. The reason I didn't say well, I didn't read anything to you earlier. I couldn't read it really well from it's okay, Amico's about a high school girl adores Aomi to the point of nearly worshiping him, but one day he runs away from home. Amiko is sometimes cynical, sometimes self-deprecating. Inner monologue goes off in a vibrant stand-up comedy. Okay, it's that's why does it do that for? There's one sentence here that's talking about one part of the plot, and then it just veers to something else. What is the person doing this synopsis here? Is this like a film noir synopsis or something? It just changes. It just changes right in the middle. Oh, I don't know if I would get a guide or not. I mean, it'd be cool like to have some friends that lived over there, somebody that would you could go and it'd show you around. It it just depends. I mean, it just depends how well because even if I went over there on a just a vacation type situation, I would still try to learn before I would try to spend like 6 months. It depends on how long I had. I would spend that much time beforehand trying to learn enough, enough language to get by. And there's certain you can watch YouTube channels and they'll give you the kind of, you know, 10 phrases to learn that'll get you through just being a tourist. Because a lot of people over, they wanna try to speak English, but I just find it rude not at least attempting to speak their language, at least greeting and stuff like that, which a lot of people know, like arigato and Ohio and stuff like that. Ohio's good morning, arigato's thank you. Yes is hi, but, things like that. But, just simple phrases, how much is this? How much is this I'm buying or, things like that. I would at least try to learn that kind of thing before going to Japan. Because there's people that live there. There's Americans that live there right now who can't even who's lived there for years that don't even speak the language. Because there's a lot of people who complain about that. Other Americans or other, Westerners who live there and say, yeah, he said, like, yeah, I have friends that've lived here for 5 years. They don't speak Japanese. That's like, how can you, you know, you're probably one of those people that live in America who complain to Mexicans who don't speak English. Over here, you say, "Speak English, motherfucker," and then you go to live in another place and you don't learn to speak the language. And I know it's difficult, but you need to attempt to learn it. There is one cool thing that I learned about and that you can like, there's evidently and I don't know if I think it may only apply to if you're trying to be an English teacher, which I couldn't do that anyways. But it may apply to you might be able to just be a regular, somebody a foreign transplant, what's that called? It's called an expatriate. If you, if you're like you're expat or something, there's like a school that they have it's made for people to go to learn Japanese. It's like some kind of special training like school you can go to, but I think it's just for people who are planning on teaching English. I'm not 100% positive about that. I've seen a video about it a while back, but um, uh, it's the same way here. Some don't need to learn because they live in areas that speak their language. Yeah, yeah. Which I don't speak Spanish myself. I can't criticize anything. I'd like to learn. It'd probably be better to learn Spanish if you're trying to learn Japanese. They say Spanish speakers, though Spanish is like closer to Japanese, the way it's structured and the way their pronunciations and things are. Chinatown. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think if you, I do and I don't have a problem with that. Mostly I think you should attempt to learn to speak English, but it's just like I'm saying, you have people who live in the United States that go to other countries and don't learn to speak it, and some do in some respect, I just want to be able to integrate into the culture, I want to be able to communicate with people. Like why? Because you have to be so isolated living. It's that whole, stranger in a strange land kind of syndrome. You don't. How can you live it's just a complete. I mean, Japanese life is so isolated, anyways. They're a very lonely culture. And how do you go to a place like that and not speak the language? And you just isolating yourself and have to be causing a ton of depression. Yeah. We're probably not too many years from having some kinda translation device you just stick in your ear. It's almost like a universal translator in Star Trek, where it's just like it just translates any language, and it'll be something you wear in your ear, and it just translates somebody's vocals, and I don't know how it would translate back, but maybe everybody I don't know. If there was a way but everybody would have to wear one, but yeah, not so much if there's a week, yeah. Yeah, I actually have the Rosetta Stone, and I fool around with it every now and then, messing with Japanese, and I just like to be able to, watch anime and not have to read the subtitles, but, I mean, it's very difficult, uh, it's very difficult to learn, but they actually make there's actually some kind of program you get that you can basically watch, I guess, like Crunchyroll, but it'll overlay like it'll overlay it basically teaches you how to speak Japanese watching anime, essentially what it does. It does different types of translation. It translates the written part of it and the kanji, excuse me. They into the kanji and it does the different types of translations and things. It's kinda cool. I've never really looked into it too much, but yet. Oh, yeah, like, yeah, the universal translator. Yeah, there are, but I'm just talking about one that's almost just you don't have to hold the phone up to somebody. It's literally like a, like a earpiece you put in your ear, and it's just like what is that in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where they stick that bug in his ear, crawls in his ear? I can't think of what that I think it's Hitchhiker's Guide, but that bug goes in his ear and he can translate in any, language in the universe or something like that. I think it yeah. But, I wonder what happened to Jody. Yeah, it may have been in there. It's probably in multiple things. I'm sure multiple places, copy that. Alright, let's see here. Sorry about that. I got off on that tangent about that. That's the worst thing about Amico, it was very expensive. I shouldn't have bought it. I don't know why it was that expensive. Okay, this is November 11th. That's what came out today. I didn't actually go through because I kinda saw the Luc Besson collection but yeah, we got The Mask. This is I'm gonna go through what's come out this week, and I don't know if there's a lot of people watching this for you probably know already. Actually, I meant to get the Naked Gun, but I'm gonna have to it was sold out on Amazon, the 4K was. I didn't get it. There's a Renfield 4K steelbook. That's pretty cool steelbook. Did you pick that up, that Renfield? That would've been a cool one. Caught stealing. Oh, yeah, it's Spinal Tap. Yeah, I'll have to get that on 4K. I'll probably just get that on regular 4K. The Snowden movie was alright. I can't believe there wasn't a Naked Gun steelbook. Huh, that Laurel and Hardy set looks pretty cool. Ted Lasso. I never watched any of Ted Lasso. Which one was I talking about? Oh, the was I talking about the Naked Gun or Renfield? I don't know. The Naked I have that Naked Gun when that first steelbook for the original Naked Gun. I'm kinda interested in seeing the new one though, so but, let's see here. Once you get further down and down and down here, they get kinda sometimes you get into, like, the anime and stuff like that. Yeah, but like I was talking about earlier, like, the anime, I would start with Cowboy Bebop, and I think it was you asking oh, for Renfield, okay, yeah, and, that's just an easy, straightforward one, like, when I keep talking about Evangelion a lot, but it's not it's a really a love-hate anime. People either love it or hate it because it's very, it's a lot to absorb. It doesn't necessarily make sense unless you know a little bit about it. It's and I didn't as a kid. As when I was younger, I didn't know a lot about it, but I still liked it. It's just visually for the era for the '90s animation. It was visually a really nice anime. All right, we'll go through the next week's upcoming stuff. Huh? Hell's Angels. That's cool. That's a Howard Hughes directed movie. I have that on DVD. I might have to get that. It's pretty good too. Pretty. If you've seen the Aviator, you kind of know the inside of this movie. Let's see here, the Better Tomorrow trilogy, Red Planet. That's an Aero release airport. It's like a Kino Lorber release out of Africa. That's cool. That Dark City 4K. I wonder if that's the. I wonder if that's Dark City, the director's cut, because the director's cut is the one you're supposed to watch. I've always been told you need to watch. Marx Brothers, Howard's End. I actually canceled today. I was going to get that Fright Night box set that came out, and I ended up canceling it because I spent too much money on buying like on the or buying not Renfield, but buying the Luc Besson collection and stuff like that, and I'd end up canceling it. It's like $80 for it. I was like, I'm not a massive Fright Night fan anyways, and I better just get something else. Got some stuff come out here on what are these? I always like getting these. I just haven't got a whole lot lately. These Warner Archives. Bride Came COD. I think I have these. Some other format. Some of these movies though, some of them are really good and some are not. I don't know if these are film noirs right here or not. Oh, 37. It's not a film noir. Film noirs are basically post World War II, but some of them I would consider the before the end of the war. Huh. Doesn't seem like there's a ton of stuff coming out. A lot of these classic movies is really cool, but well, I think we've lost Jody. I don't know where he went to. He left his camera up, so I assume he's coming back. So I don't know. He must have had to deal with his children. Oh, I bet this might be good. Gracie Allen. Oh, the Gracie Allen murder case. What is that? Okay. It does star Gracie Allen. I was like, that's weird. It's called the Gracie Allen murder case, but that's weird. But Gracie Allen was he was married to God. She had that show. What is I'm sorry, I have you can't really buy the show. What is let me look look up her stuff here. I apologize. Here. But she had a bunch of shows. Is it Jack Burns? Is that what he was on? Pulp Fiction. Yeah, another issue. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I thought it'd be on here. Yeah, George Burns. Burns and Allen. I'm sorry, Allen's and Burns. Burns and Allen was that show. I wish I could get like the full seasons of. You can only buy like these little DVDs with like like 4 or 5, maybe 6 episodes, maybe 10. But it was fucking funny because Gracie Allen played like this ditzy, like basically blonde. I don't think she's blonde hair, but basically this really like clueless woman. It's hilarious because she plays it so well. It's just hilarious. I'd like to check out some of her movies, but that's a good, yeah, Burns and Allen. If you can find, but you can't find. I don't think there's ever been any full seasons released. Yeah, this is an anime here. The time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's season 3, part 2. I mean, that's what's crazy. Like, why is that a part 2? There's surely not that many episodes in one season. Most seasons anymore are only like 12 episodes or something. That's the worst thing about animes, though, is they really milk you for money. The And it's really not necessarily the Japanese are doing it. It's the it's the American distribution companies doing it, like Funimation and stuff like that. They're pretty well known for being pretty. Huh? That's interesting. Hmm. I wonder what this is. It might be interesting. I like that kind of stuff. Those documentary, the James Dean story. All right. Well, that was what was coming out this week. I know I kind of skipped around there on different things. Doris Day collection. I kind of like those multi collections. I'm basically a 2 disc set or something like that. Those Blu-rays like that. This was one I was interested in looking at. Universal Language. I don't know what this is. Huh. Well, Jody, hope I didn't make him mad by talking too much anime. Oh yeah, this Pulp Fiction. Yeah, I see it now. I think there's a little bit of delay, like whenever your texts come in. Cool. Yeah, I don't. That's not one I really watch. I've ever watched. I'm not saying it's a bad, but it's just I just don't know. It's not one I've watched yet. Huh. I like Ultraman though. I don't know what this Ultraman 4K Discovery. Oh, I have all those. Not on 4K. I have them all on Blu-ray though. I have this. I do have the Ultraman steelbooks. I assume you have all those that got released. I can't wait for this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy to come out. Mainly because I want to see the first movie in 4K. I think that's going to be a great transfer to the 4K to the 4K because of how dark it is, and it should look really good in 4K. Yeah, yeah. Those I have a feeling might eventually be rare. Those Ultraman steelbooks, because all that stuff got released in they all got released on regular they had a regular Blu-ray release as well. It was like a special set. It was all together, but other than that, it was pretty cool. Other than that, yeah. Well, everybody, I'm about to run out of stuff to talk about this week. Got any more questions? I can talk a few more minutes. Really? For $5 a piece? Yeah. Well, oh yeah, when they went out last year, yeah, or year before, whenever they well, not well before they started getting rid of physical media. I don't know what the hell they even sell there anymore. I mean, I know what they sell, obviously, but ever the last time I went in there, I actually I did go in there and buy something just because I bought a turntable and I didn't wanna order it. It was one of those kind of items I didn't necessarily want to order over Amazon because of, and the price was exactly the same as Amazon and Best Buy, so I just bought a turntable in there, and, when I was in there, it was, like, over this past summer, and when I was in there, it was, like, dead. It's like every other than, like, Christmas time, it's always dead in there. Really. That's crazy. I haven't checked there in a while to look for that stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. They, yeah, I remember the days of Circuit City. I used to like going to Circuit City, had a good physical media. I miss being able to go to stores and buy 'em. That's there's really nobody at Harley does it anymore, except if you wanna go to, like, and I'm trying to think where is their physical media other than Walmart and maybe a couple of those top stores. I don't even think Myers in my area sell I'm in Kentucky, so I don't think Myers even sells stuff like that anymore. They may have some at Myers, not much though. They mostly have, like, kind of the discounted rack, the stuff people just pick up, really non-collectors. Yeah. That's all I went to, Best Buy for really for a long time was physical media. They had to lose a whole lot of foot traffic because 'cause I've been in there before to buy, like, and then end up picking up some other things, and, that hurts their foot traffic. I don't know why they wanted to get rid of it except for if they did make a lot of money off of it. I'm not sure. I always heard that play these stores this is a long time ago now, and I always heard the stores didn't there wasn't a really large markup on physical media, but I'm probably wrong about that. I have no idea, but that's just what I was told. But yeah, there was Circuit City, Walmart sold a lot. Around here, Myers sold a lot. Um, I'm trying to, you would have some smaller stores that you don't really find as much. Now my area is not, the I live in kind of the greater like Lexington area. I live in Richmond, which is a little south, but you used to have some stores. The larger markets are still going to have like more independent stuff, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially, yeah, I definitely did that a lot at Best Buy. Um, but yeah, I just miss that. Now down in Tennessee has 3 stores called McKay's, and McKay's sells. There's one in Jody's area, and there's one in Knoxville, and there's one in Chattanooga now. There could be another one somewhere else, but I'm pretty sure there's just 3. But they're just like these warehouses for there. It's used now. It's used media, but it's just like they have these small like warehouses. Yeah, yeah, I've done that many times. Bought way too much. But but they have like movies, movies, music, books, all kinds of movies, comic books, all that kind of stuff. Excuse me, everybody. They also had they sell like some. like used electronics and things like that, gaming systems and games, stuff like that. Oh, really? That sucks. Yeah, it I bought quite a few laser discs in there. I haven't collected laser discs very much in the last several years, but I had a period there in probably the 20 between 2016 and 2020, I was buying several. I bought quite a few. I have about 1,500 or something, or 1,000, 1,500 laser discs or something crazy like that. Because you could get them cheap, but I'd say like everything else that's nostalgic, people caught on to that. Now they're probably expensive. I'm not sure about that, but it's probably how it goes with anything else. But yeah, the physical, I mean, it's just gonna happen. I mean, it's because all these businesses are just going out of business. That's why I don't understand. I don't understand what, oh oh, yeah, we still have I think we still have FYE. It's over in Lexington in one of the malls. I'm not positive. I haven't been there in a while. Huh. Yeah, I've never really bought a lot at FYE. I think I bought, like, that first Evangelion rebuild there. I didn't even know about it, and I ran upon it and said, "What is this?" Because I'm not one of these people who get on message boards and stuff and not just message boards, but like, Discord and things like that. I just don't do a lot of that, and I don't keep up with stuff. I'd rather be kinda surprised about things. I don't know. Ever since social media, I've just never got into it. I don't know why. I mean, I'm 47, I'm not that old. I'm not too old to be part of the generation that we grew up with it essentially, but I just never got into it. I just don't I'm not a real sociable person anyways. I just don't I'm not in constant need to talk to somebody or to be validated by my opinion and things like that. I like doing this because I like talking with friends face to face and having these kind of interactions, but yeah. I remember the game stores. Do you remember when they used to sell a bunch of used stuff? But it always was shit though. Excuse me, but it was always crap in there. Every now and then you'd find something, but I felt sorry for them because they probably have people bringing in just like tons and tons of stuff into those stores always. It was just a mess. Because I tried to buy, I remember one time, this is a long time ago, I tried to buy like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I can't remember if it's Blu-ray or DVD. I just for some reason I ran into it. It's like I don't have that yet on physical media. I like to buy it. And I took it up there and they had the movie disc, but they didn't have the special feature disc for the second disc with it. And I was like, I'm not paying this much for it missing a disc. Yeah, they all got rid of it too because it became a pain in the butt because people are it's like kind of the same. Sometimes you can go to not thrift well, thrift stores you can go to and find movies, but sometimes you can go to pawn stores and pawn shops and find movies, but I've never had much success in there. My pawn shops at least. But, got off topic there, but, yeah, but GameStop. Yeah, they what I was thinking about, they probably have people there was a time when people were breaking in and stealing people's movies and probably ultimately what drove down the worth of movies was people were stealing movies and reselling them all the time, and it just oh, yeah, we do. I'm sorry, I do have a big physical media store here, well, fairly big, um, It's called what's it called? I haven't been in there in a while. It's something books. It's got books in the title, but it's a big media store. It's kind of like FYE, but smaller, a little bit smaller version of it. Damn. Do you like Hamilton books? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Hamilton. Oh no, no, no. Hamilton's online. This is a bricks and mortar store. Um, hang on a second. Make sure Jody didn't leave me a message. Oh, uh, Jody said he just got super sick. So he probably won't be back. It's time to cut it off anyways. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, that bookstore. Used bookstores in Lexington, Kentucky.
There aren't any physical Facebook stores in
Used
Lexington, Kentucky.
bookstores, Lexington,
However,
Kentucky.
you can use Facebook.
But I said that correctly the first time, and it came up Facebook. Like it's called Half Price Books. It's just a brick and mortar here around. I don't know exactly where all of them are. I know they're in Lexington and Louisville. I'm not sure if they're in any in Cincinnati or down in uh, Tennessee, any place. I'm not positive about that. So, yeah, I think they're in other states. I'm not. I don't know where all they are at though. So. Yeah, he kind of jumped off there quick, so I assume it was a hopefully not a hopefully it's not too bad. Well, everybody, I hate to get off here, but we've hit the 2 hour mark. Appreciate everybody stopping by that's been here this evening. Had a decent little crowd in here. Thanks to Movie Hunter, you're always here, and Movie Hunter and who I'm sorry, bad with names sometimes. We got Movie Hunter and Collectopedia. He's here usually every week. We appreciate everybody stopping by and everybody that wasn't in the chat this evening. We always appreciate everybody that comes in. Just trying to build up our audience again eventually. I'm just going to I don't know if we were going to talk about it yet, but me and Jody and Lauren are trying to work on it's going to be more of a Cult of Collectors Presents kind of thing, and we're gonna pre-tape them, but we're gonna start. I know it's a little bit lame, but we're gonna start basically watching some of the Big Bang Theory episodes, and we're just gonna watch them off screen and then kind of talk about them. I'm probably gonna pull up and kind of when we talk about an episode, pull up scenes, but not actually have it playing. For now, eventually, if we can get an audience built up enough for it, I might make a Patreon and have us charge something for Patreon, Patreon, and we come on there and like actually watch do live streams there and watch either episodes or movies and things like that. It's my ultimate goal. But what we're just basically going to do because one night I think it was after one of our shows, me and Lauren or something mentioned something about, or I mentioned something about Big Bang Theory. We were just talking bullshit, and we were just really going to talk about stuff that's in there. Yeah, we might do 3 episodes and then talk about all the 3 episodes we watched. Watch the first 3 episodes and talk about just talk about things that goes on, maybe inconsistencies in the plots and things like that. Sometimes, and it's a show that I generally like, especially the first 4 or 5 seasons. I like it all, but it obviously the first 4 or 5 seasons are the strongest. But that's what we're going to do. Hopefully in the future, it'll just be something you can kind of watch as a video. We probably won't do it live unless people kind of demand. If we get an audience to do it, I mean that's a long ways off. But yeah, but thanks everybody for being here. I'm going to I guess get off here and we can talk next week and see what we picked up next week. I've exhausted everything I bought. I'm gonna have to find a couple of things to buy. I'm gonna have to hold off a little bit. I've spent too much money in the last couple of weeks. So, well, this is Cult of Collectors, and I'm Bewitched Movie Boy or Bewitched. I think I'm just gonna go with Bewitched Game Boy and just use one channel. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, you do, Movie Hunter. We'll talk to you. Well, if I can find my cursor, I'll end the stream. There we go. I'll talk to everybody later. Talk to everybody next week, and you guys have a good evening and happy collecting.